Morning and welcome to Gardening 365 34. As you can see behind me, I've still got quite a bit of snow on the ground here and everything's very frozen, so there really isn't a lot that I can do outside, hence why I didn't upload a video last week. But it's sunny today and I'm hoping to get outside and do a little bit. One job I really can't do though is laying the blocks for my raised bed. The problem is when it freezes, especially at night, the frost will get into the water, into the mortar, and then crack it. Okay, and I don't want to do that. When I put the blocks in, I want them to be there for at least 30-40 years. So I want them to be structurally sound. So I'm not doing them today. The rest of the garden is looking pretty sorry for itself. Now, plants like my purple sprouting, they'll survive the weather. Okay, so their time will soon come, so we're hoping that the sprouts on them will soon be edible, well, big enough to eat. My leeks, they should still be fine. I don't think the weather will damage them. The garlic should be fine. I'm really not sure about the beet. We'll have a look at them when the snow has melted. Only got a few carrots outside now. They should be fine as well, but we have got lots in the freezer. And as Claire will say, there's an awful lot in the freezer. The kale is a bit of an unknown to me because we haven't grown it before this year, but it looks okay. It doesn't look frost damaged in any way. And I have got one or two parsnips in there, and those are seeds that Yvonne gave me earlier in the year. We'll have a look at them at some point. 3 red cabbage. I'm not sure if the weather's damaged those. We'll have to see at some point. And I have got one of me monster parsnips left. The frost won't harm parsnips at all. In fact, it adds to the flavour apparently. I have got a couple of calabrese. Again, I'm not sure what the weather's done to them, whether they'll come after this. I'm really not sure. I'm into the unknown. Got some other veg under cover, but I'm really not going to uncover those until the weather gets better. So that's the sort of state we are at the moment with the garden, with the weather. I'm hoping most things will be okay. In the greenhouse, and the cabbage that I put in, that's going okay. The kale I'm not doing a lot at the moment, but I'm sure they'll be okay at some point. A few lettuce still here, and we got some outside as well. And over there, amaryllis and strawberries I've shown you before, and some more follow-on lettuce. Now what I have got here is some compost. So I've taken out the compost bin. And the reason why I brought it into the greenhouse is to let it dry a little bit. Just before Christmas it was really wet, and I wanted to start to get some soil ready for the new raised bed. It was far too wet, so I brought some compost in to dry out, and what I'm doing now is just sort of taking out the bigger pieces, and I'm going to use a smaller compost to mix in with soil so we get that really light soil. But what am I going to be doing with this, the big bits? I will put that into next year's compost. So like I always say, nothing goes to waste. And there's some of the soil that I've used from the potatoes and whatever else, and I'll recycle that as well, but mixing it in with newer compost, newer soil, so that it reactivates it. So again, nothing goes to waste at all. So that'll be one of my jobs, possibly this weekend, just grading that a little bit more. And after nearly 12 months, that's what the compost looks like. And that is fine now to add to your garden. And that is natural, very natural fertiliser for the garden, which will definitely help your plants grow in 2021. Now Saturday, as you know, is my feed day. Not me, I get fed every day. The plants inside. So I'm going into the house now to have a look at some of the house plants. And I've got a little surprise as well, which is looking pretty good. I'll show you when I get in the house. The Yucca, the Castor Oil Plant and the hibiscus are all doing just fine. I'm going to feed them now. And I'll do the others in a minute. The Christmas amaryllis is looking good, but it didn't flower in time, which we knew it wouldn't. The Bird of Paradise is looking great. And I got Claire another hibiscus. Now this is called Hercules or something, so I'm expecting this to be a massive one. Going to give them some feed very shortly. Now I said when I was walking up to the house I had a little surprise. Here's the peace lily. And there is the surprise. It's in flower. It's not the most beautiful flower ever, but still very nice. And that shows it's happy where it is, it's flowering. So really pleased with that, the peace lily. And over in the windowsill are hyacinths. I've done okay, but there's, for some reason, I don't think they've bloomed as quite as good as they should do. The paper white daffs, they've not come out yet, so waiting on those. The one ginger had a real problem and we thought we was going to lose it, but it's come back strong. And then the second one, that had a bit of a problem and we've lost the sprout from that, but I'm still confident that will re-sprout. And the turmeric, still no movement there. And the small amaryllis, they're doing okay. And as for my mushrooms, these are the very first ones. Now I had two whopping great oyster mushrooms off those, which are lovely, but for whatever reason I think there's some contamination, mould starting in there, so I think I'm going to lose those now. That's a real shame. The second lot, the follow-on mushrooms, they've still got lots of white mycelium in them, but we're not seeing any mushrooms yet. Well, I thought I saw one then, no it wasn't. Okay, well, so we'll see how those go. That's pretty much the indoor update. Will I get a chance to do anything outside? Would certainly be nice. And here's something you might want to try. I've got some potatoes in a little box in the house, keeping them reasonably warm. And if you notice now, this potato here, when I lift it up, got some little shoots starting on it, which are known as chits. And it's best, if you're going to plant potatoes, to chit them before you plant them, and then they grow that little bit bigger. It gives them that extra head start. Obviously it's far too cold to plant potatoes outside yet, but if you get them started in the house like this, you will have earlier potatoes. Okay, so I'll sort of film these every episode now so you can see the progress of them. So there's my early chit potatoes. And compost production still going well, even though it's the time of the year it is. So we've got wood ash in there and kitchen scraps, and I'll put them on the compost very shortly. And one thing that's happened recently, the patio that you saw us having put down, the same people, the same company if you like, put a fence up for us. Now that's got two main reasons. Reason number one is to give us a little bit more privacy from the track that goes past our house. And two, that's where the wind comes in the evening when we're on the patio. So we're just trying to keep everything a little bit warmer. That's where we get the afternoon sun, from that direction, and if we can stop the wind from that direction, it should be beautiful on the patio. So pleased with that. And today what I'm going to do is just start to put some wood preserver on it. I think that colour wood looks great, but you do need to preserve it as well. And the colour we're going to use is the same brown as log store, so it should all match together. Very nice. And outside, working in the sun, still a little bit chilly, but sheer luxury cup of tea outside. Superb. And talking of which, the potting shed, minus the shed, and I have got a potting job to do tomorrow, so I might spend some time down here tomorrow. Haven't finished the fence, so I'll be doing some more to the fence, but apart from that, pretty much it for me today. Just been on a local walk. Very shortly I'm going in for Saturday evening. See you tomorrow. Morning and welcome to my unheated potting shed. Snow just starting to thaw a little bit now, so I think it's our melt day. And what am I going to be doing? I'll be planting some very early seeds that I'm going to take inside and put into our propagator. So that's what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to show you what I'm planting very shortly. First of all, I've got some mild chilli, and they're from seeds that I've harvested from real chilies. So I'm going to give them a go. So mild chilies first. So I've put 2 in each little compartment, just because at this time of the year they're not so likely to germinate. And what I'm going to do now is just pop them underneath the soil and then cover them up. And because I'm planting multiple things in this tray, labelling is really important. So what I'll do is just put all different things in each compartment. Almost in now, all looking very neat. And I've left the 2 final rows for something quite special. As I say, these are my exhibition onions. I'm not going to show them or anything silly like that. But look what it says. Sow indoors from December to February. So I'm actually bang on time to plant these. And these will be going indoors. So later it says prick out 2 individual pots when large enough to handle. And I can do that on and off in April and May. I can do that as well. Perfect. And should harvest in August to September. Looking forward to me exhibition onions. I've never grown them before from seeds. And I'm going to take them inside now into the propagator. Now normally I would water them, but the compost is fairly damp and they're going to go into a propagator which will create humidity anyway, so I don't want them to get too wet. So I think they'll be hydrated enough as they are. I'll show you how they get on over the coming weeks. Well, it's not all work at Cherry Tree. Okay, occasionally we do get out and have a little bit of fun. So I'm out at the moment up on the hills by us. It is windy, as you can hear, but it's really nice to get out and have fun. That concludes today's Gardening 365 34. Look forward to seeing you next time for Gardening 365 35. Okay, keep inviting your friends to Facebook. We're doing really well at the moment, but we need more. And please go to YouTube and subscribe. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye.